In 2009, two Domino's employees filmed themselves contaminating food. Cheese up nostrils. Ingredients touched to body parts. The video hit 1 million views in days. Brand perception crashed from 81% positive to 64% negative. If two employees can destroy trust in 48 hours, what protects the 3 million pizzas Domino's sells daily? The answer is in how pepperoni gets made before it ever arrives. Pepperoni doesn't exist in Italy. That red curling disc on your pizza is American, created by Italian immigrants adapting salami recipes to New World ingredients around 1900. The name comes from pepperoni, Italian for bell peppers, though pepperoni contains none. What it contains? Pork, beef, paprika, cayenne, fennel, garlic. But here's what separates pepperoni from every other cured meat. It's fermented, like cheese, like yogurt, like the sourdough everyone keeps talking about. Lactic acid bacteria colonize the ground meat and produce acid as they digest sugars. That acid drops the pH below levels where dangerous pathogens can survive. The same process that makes the meat safe also creates that distinctive tang you can't replicate any other way. No fermentation, no pepperoni, just seasoned ground meat that spoils within days. Manufacturing starts with semi-frozen pork and beef, cut to 4mm particles in industrial bowl cutters. Temperature matters enormously. Meat must stay between 0 and 4 degrees Celsius, or fat smears instead of staying distinct as visible white specks. Salt goes in at 28 grams per kilogram. Then nitrite. Nitrite reacts with myoglobin to create that bright red color and prevents Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium-producing botulism toxin, from growing. Without nitrite, pepperoni would be gray and potentially deadly. Spices and starter cultures get blended into the mixture. The tacky mass pumps into fibrous casings 45 millimeters in diameter. Filling technique matters more than you'd think. Backrolling creates air pockets that cause cupping on the pizza. Fermentation happens in climate-controlled rooms at 25 degrees Celsius for 48 hours. Humidity hovers near 90%. The air smells sharp, tangy, slightly metallic. Lactic acid bacteria multiply rapidly, producing acid that drops pH from neutral 6 down to 5.3 or lower. This acidification cures the meat, makes it safe to eat without cooking. After fermentation comes smoking. Pepperoni hangs in chambers where hardwood smoke penetrates the casing at 60 to 65 degrees Celsius. Smoke contains phenolic compounds, acting as antioxidants and antimicrobials. Then drying, the stage transforming soft sausage into something that ships, slices, and survives. Pepperoni loses around 30% of its weight as moisture evaporates over 5 to 6 days. So if all pepperoni follows the same fermentation process, why does New York sliced pepperoni taste completely different from Domino's? The answer is casing. Traditional pepperoni uses natural casing, pig or cattle intestine. Heat makes natural casing contract unevenly. Edges pull up. Center fills with rendered fat that pools and crisps. You get cupped, charred edges, what enthusiasts call cup and char or Roni cups. Commercial chain pepperoni uses artificial cellulose casing. Cellulose doesn't contract. Slices lie flat. They cook evenly, consistent from pizza to pizza, store to store, country to country. The trade-off is texture. Flat pepperoni releases grease onto the cheese instead of pooling it in crispy little cups. Domino's sources pepperoni engineered specifically for conveyor belt ovens. Their pizzas cook at around 230 degrees Celsius for 7 minutes, significantly faster than traditional deck ovens, taking 12 to 15 minutes at lower temperatures. Speed demands consistency. Every slice must render fat at the same rate, brown at the same rate, achieve identical texture when the pizza exits the oven. This is industrial pepperoni. Fat-to-meat ratio calibrated precisely. Particle size standardized. Casing selected for predictable performance under specific conditions. Home cooks dry curing pepperoni for 8 weeks in their basement make a fundamentally different product than what arrives pre-sliced at 20,000 Domino's locations every single morning. Here's what most people miss about chain restaurant food safety. The 2009 scandal didn't expose a system flaw. It exposed how rare failure actually was. Domino's operates 16 supply chain centers across North America, producing fresh dough daily, distributing ingredients to nearly 5,000 stores. Every pepperoni slice arrives pre-portioned. Every cheese blend standardized. Store employees assemble and bake. They don't create from scratch. The contamination video was horrifying precisely because it was exceptional. 2 employees in one store violated protocols that millions of pizzas pass through daily without incident. The brand recovered within months. They used the crisis to completely reformulate their entire pizza recipe. After 2009, Domino's did something unheard of in fast food. They ran ads showing focus groups calling their pizza cardboard and bland, acknowledged criticism publicly, then reformulated everything: new cheese blend, new sauce recipe, garlic butter brushed on the crust. Same-store sales jumped 14% in the first quarter after relaunch, the largest quarterly gain in fast food history at the time. Today, Domino's generates nearly $5 billion annually. The supply chain segment accounts for over 60% of revenue. They're not selling pizza. They're selling logistics. Consistent product to 20,000 locations across 90 countries. That pepperoni started as semi-frozen meat, ground to 4 millimeters, fermented with bacteria, smoked with hardwood, dried until 30% lighter. It traveled through supply chains designed to prevent exactly what went viral in 2009. The scandal showed how fragile trust can be. The recovery showed how robust the system actually was. The pepperoni itself doesn't know the difference. It just curls, or doesn't, depending on who made the casing. Team